Welcome back to Movie Cage Match, the only podcast where two movies enter, one movie leaves. And now, please welcome your host, Damien.
That's right, this is Movie Cage Match, and I'm your host, Damien. This week, our combatants are two Christmas comedy classics, Scrooged and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacations. Helping me to decide the fates of these two films, we have everybody's favorite troglodyte Philistine,
Skiskel and Deegebert,
and a woman of lethal cunning.
It's Carrie.
Introducing first.
7 o'clock, Psycho sees Santa's workshop, and only Lee Majors can stop them. In the night the reindeer died. Be here.
You can't show that commercial. That thing looked like the Manson family Christmas special.
Think I'm way off base?
Yes, you're a tad off base, sir.
Frank Cross is more than the youngest network president in television history.
Call security, have them change his locks, and toss him out of the building.
Oh, he's fired? It's Christmas.
Thank you. Call accounting. Stop his bonus.
He's a thoughtful boss.
Weighing in at a lean, mean 101 minutes, we have the 1998 Richard Donner directed Scrooged.
Ma'am, I think you dropped something here.
And a true humanitarian.
I can't get the antlers glued onto this little guy. We've tried crazy glue.
Have you tried Staples?
But his life is about to change.
That was a good one.
You are going to be visited by 3...
That was from the trailer for Scrooge, starring Bill Murray, Karen Allen, and John Forsythe. It's Challenger.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas.
Sorry. Got a little knot here. You can work on that.
Weighing in at a scant 97 minutes, we have the 1989 Jeremiah Chechik directed National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, there's plenty of room.
Do you sleep with your brother? Do you know how sick and twisted that is, Mom? Well, I'm sleeping with your father.
Have you got a kiss for me?
You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
But no holiday could ever be more deeply touching.
We were gonna call, but Eddie wanted to make it a surprise.
If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised.
That was from the trailer for Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, and Randy Quaid. Right into the show, bicycle@gmail.com, bicycle on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, rate and review on Apple Podcasts, tell a friend, family member, stranger. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Merry Christmas.
Merry freaking Christmas.
Merry Christmas, yeah.
How'd you guys like watching Scrooged and Christmas Vacation?
Loved it.
They loved it, yes.
Yeah, I never watched either of these, so I feel like a more well-rounded person now.
I remember watching both of these as a child.
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched both of these before as a kid. I remember watching Christmas Vacation and the part where Chevy Chase puts the whatever spray on the bottom of the sled. I used to put stuff on the bottom of my sled like that as a kid to go flying down hills just like that. Yeah, I've seen these before.
Scene, by the way.
Huh?
Amazing scene. Just
yeah,
flying
it's like
through everything, not dying.
Yeah, he probably went 20 miles away from where he started, but yeah, he's perfectly fine. I love watching these movies.
20 miles away from where he started, and they all acted like they could still see him.
Yeah. I love watching these movies from the 80s and 90s where like, yeah, that person has a concussion, that person has trauma, spinal trauma, that person has a broken neck. Yeah.
Yep.
Love that part in Scrooge where the woman, I think the safety organizer, right, comes in and like gets neck trauma and he's like, can I move her neck? And she's like, no, not at all. And it's like, crack and
he's
stuff.
Just cranking it left and right. He's like, look at this over here. And she's like, oh God.
Yeah, that woman is not okay after that movie.
No.
Yeah.
She was though. She got some at the end.
Yeah, she did, really. Yep.
It's a feel-good story for her. Her neck don't feel good, but she felt good after.
Yeah, that was a staple of like 80s movies in general, of like weird 80s comedies of somebody just getting drunk or like going to their mind and just start humping somebody else. Yeah.
Yep. You see it a lot in like Adam Sandler movies too.
Yeah.
They got bumped. Not like 80s. I mean, I understand he's a little bit later on, but he's got like lunch ladies humping him stuff. He kept that tradition alive.
Yeah.
Maybe just like a SNL alum, that keeps that going.
Yeah. What's his name? Bill Murray and Chevy Chase are both those guys from SNL.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Scrooge debuted on November 23rd, 1988, earning $18.6 million during its release over the Thanksgiving extended opening weekend in the United States. In 200 theaters, eventually grossing $100 million, the 13th highest grossing film of 1988. Rain Man was the highest at $178 million. It lost its only Academy Award for Best Makeup to Beetlejuice. That year, funny story, a little-known animation company called Pixar won Best Animated Short for a short film about a tin one-man band toy robot called Tin Toy. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Pixar?
I have no idea. Scrooge currently has a 71% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was interesting to look at Bill Murray's career early on during the Scrooge years. I guess it was Scrooge was like his comeback movie. He was in Ghostbusters 1 in 1984, I want to say, or 83 or 84. Took a 4-year hiatus from being in movies. He had a little bit part in Little Shop of Horrors in 86. Then he did Scrooge in 88. Did Ghostbusters 2 in 89. What About Bob in 91? Groundhog Day in 93. And he was in Kingpin and Space Jam in 1996. So I thought that was interesting. What's up?
Space Jam. Okay.
Space Jam. Yeah, that cameo in that movie.
I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this film.
Yeah. So real quick, let's do his apex real quick. What do you think Bill Murray's best role is, or your favorite role? Doesn't have to be best or most acclaimed, but your favorite Bill Murray role.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I liked his cameos in Zombieland, but I'm gonna have to go Ghostbusters. Maybe Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I say Groundhog Day.
It's probably Ghostbusters though.
No, Caddyshack's not on there anywhere.
Caddyshack? I have never seen Caddyshack actually.
Caddyshack was good.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I gotta get caught up with that one. Richard Donner directed this movie.
Good catch.
He was a massive director back in the day. He directed Omen, Superman 1 and 2, Goonies, Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. Directed Scrooge and Maverick in 94. Out of those,
Maverick, hell yeah, dude.
Maverick. I love Maverick. I remember watching that.
I love Maverick.
Snow Day back in like mid 90s, probably around when it came out. Out of this list, what would you say are your favorite Richard Donner movies? Superman or Goonies?
Goonies, obviously.
Goonies, yep. I'd probably go with that as well. Lethal Weapon. I don't think I've ever seen any Lethal Weapons. Can't say I have.
No?
No.
Well, good thing is you're not too old for that shit, so.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Doesn't the first one start with like a attempted suicide?
Yes.
First Lethal Weapon?
Mel Gibson?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe the beginning of the Goonies starts with a fake suicide as well. When they're breaking out of prison. So.
Righto.
All
right. Yeah, okay.
In Scrooged, I spotted a very young Regina King playing Grace Cooley's daughter, Linnell. You noticed that? She was like the older one when they she had probably one of the only speaking parts out of the kids, except for the little one. That was basically the Tiny Tim.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
My jaw almost hit the floor when he said that.
Yeah. Let's see. So Scrooge for that guys, they're one of my favorite categories. We have John Glover, who would go on to play Lionel Luthor in Smallville. Did you ever watch Smallville?
No.
Nope.
You never watched Smallville? Wow. I thought that would have been up your alley.
Superman, dude.
Superman, yeah.
I hate boner for Superman.
Unless it's Henry Cavill, I don't give a shit about Superman.
Wow. Okay. All right. You're not a Brendan Ruth guy? And
I don't even know who that motherfucker is.
Guess not. She's throwing punches, haymakers.
Brendan Ruth was Superman in Superman Returns in 2004.
Nerp.
Nope. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Any guys that stood out to you? Like, oh yeah, that guy. In
Yeah,
Scrooged?
it's Bobcat.
Bobcat. Yep.
Yeah, he stood out
Yep.
to me. He's my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Police
Yeah.
Academy.
Yep.
Oh my God. His voice is hilarious. Cracks me up every time.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the making of this movie? Richard Donner had like a pretty hard time controlling Bill Murray. I guess it was the first time Richard Donner had worked with an actor who was versed in improv comedy. So a lot of the lines you'll see in this movie are improvised by Bill Murray. And I guess Richard Donner wasn't a fan of that. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't a very like, he wasn't getting pissed off, but he was very not on board with the acting styling of Bill Murray in this.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
yeah.
He didn't want to let him cook.
Right, exactly.
It's his show. Try to
Yeah.
get on board here. You can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, all of Murray's lines in this. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, well, what would you say? Like 60% of them, 70% of them were just rants. Like he was
Yes.
just ranting constantly, like a madman.
Yeah.
And I can see where Donner would get a little irritated. That it's just like,
Yeah.
bro, like just chill. Oh yeah, you wonder how much stuff maybe he cut. How much ridiculous shit Bill Murray said in this.
Yeah. I really like Karen Allen in this. I was never really a fan of hers. I guess she was a big star in like the early mid 80s with she was in the first Indiana Jones. I think she was in the first and third one, I want to say. I know she was in the fourth one. But yeah, she was very good, very pretty woman back in the day. I feel like there are so many women back like in the 80s and 70s that were just like, oh, I can see why she maybe was attractive back in the 70s, or people found that sort of thing attractive back then. But she was actually one of these people, like you transplant her from the 80s to now, I would say she still would be a sex symbol. Careful. Or like a yeah. What do you think I was to say?
She's like, people from the 70s just say they don't look that good, Put them in today's era, and it's just like,
yeah,
I've seen better.
I don't know, people from the 70s, just like the guys too, even. I'm not talking about the women, just like the guys, like Walter, like everyone looked like Walter Matthau. Everyone was smoking and drinking, and everyone was like, they all looked like they were 70 when they were 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
And the hairstyles are crazy too. And clothing styles, sharp dressed people. Yeah. It's the whole works that add up there.
Yeah. Did you buy like Bill Murray as Scrooge? Did you feel like he was like a guy? Because I feel like the story of the Christmas Carol is always that thing of like, he's an asshole who's been an asshole his entire life, and then one night he's visited by some ghosts that show him the error of his ways. I don't know. I always feel like that's a thing where it's kind of unbelievable. If somebody's an asshole, if somebody's a capitalist, if somebody just want to make as much money as humanly possible, they're not going to be changed by just, a couple ghosts telling them this is your future, you're going to die alone. I feel like most people know that. I feel like Trump knows he's going to die alone. Nobody's coming to his bed at his bedside when he's in a hospice care, dying of cancer or whatever.
You got to think about it though. Like these guys, the Scrooged. What's the one thing that they have when they have an ego? And we'll say in Murray's case, when he saw himself burning in the casket, like he was not a fan of that. And the one thing he's going to protect overall is himself. So if he finally was on board where he believed that this was his future, if he kept up this path, like I could see that scaring him straight, because ultimately him preserving his life is his main goal, I would say.
Yeah.
His legacy. Legacy.
Well, I mean, his legacy would have kept going because he was the TV producer and he would have just kept doing the way that he was doing. But I think he cared more about his being alive than what he was leaving behind.
Yeah. I remember watching this as a kid and being like freaked out by the Ghost of Christmas Future. That whole demon thing with the screaming, I don't even know what the hell they were, spirits in his belly. That was always freaking me out when I saw that as a kid.
Maybe it's because I watched this as an adult. I never saw this as a kid. I thought the Ghost of Christmas Future didn't look scary at all. He should look way more scary than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude. Have you ever seen Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Oh, yeah, terrifying.
That was more terrifying than the Ghost of Christmas Past in this movie.
Well, Christmas Future definitely scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. But you know which one scared me the most as an adult? Christmas past, she was beating his ass. Here's a toaster. Wham! Right in the face. When I was watching as a kid, I was like, this is funny because, it's physical comedy and you're getting your ass beat. It's always funny because I'm a kid. And now I'm looking at it like, that's assault, man.
Yeah.
She needs to chill.
Yeah.
She,
I did not like her.
Carol Kane talked about, she had an interview about this a few years ago and saying how when she grabbed Bill Murray's lip, you can actually see it in the scene where she's actually grabbing his lip for real. Bill Murray told her, actually get on me, actually slap me, actually do things to me. And I guess he had to have surgery on his lip because she pulled it so hard.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ouchie.
I can just feel my lip tearing from where my chin is attached right now.
Yeah.
That little tendon.
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't use your tongue and feel it.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas Carol related thing that scared me as a kid, my mom brought me to, I don't know where we watched it, some play. They were doing a play of the Christmas Carol, and whoever was playing Bob Marley or Jacob Marley came out with chains.
Bob
and
Marley.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah.
He was
just
real
smoking
scary, man.
copious amounts of marijuana in the corner.
Yeah. The guy that played Jacob Marley had these giant chains on, and he was moaning and screaming, and that freaked me out as a kid. Going to see that live and the music and everything, the crashing lightning and him moaning. It was freaky when I was watching it as a kid.
It's a scary concept for a kid.
Yeah.
I was mentioning Mickey's Christmas Carol. I watched that with our two boys a week or so ago, and they were pretty freaked out. And it's Mickey Mouse. It's Goofy. Yeah. Goofy was Marley, and they were scared.
It was funny because I remember being a kid and not completely understanding what was happening when I was watching, well, at least the Mickey Mouse one. Him pointing at I remember him pointing at the grave like that. And it's just I'm looking at it oh yeah, you're in a cemetery. That's naturally scary. I understand that. But when you get older and you realize I'm pointing at your grave, it's Jesus, that's sobering.
And then it opens up from the fires of hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrie's watching the Bill Murray casket scene, and she's like, well, that was something.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You're that was unsettling, or I don't know. He was screaming inside the casket, and he's as it's burning, and she's like, oh, that was, yeah. I am shook.
Yes. Shooketh, yeah. Who wants to read the summary of Christmas Vacation? I'll let you choose. Dion didn't like not reading it last time. Okay.
Yeah, no, let me.
Pressure's on.
No. Christmas Vacation debuted on December 1st, 1989, eventually bringing in $73.3 million on a $25 million budget. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 68% of 47 film critics have given the film a positive review with a rating average of 6.3 out of 10. Site's consensus reads, while Christmas Vacation may not be the most disciplined comedy, it's got enough laughs and cheers to make for a solid seasonal treat. Christmas Vacation based on the late, great John Hughes short story, Christmas 59. Second vacation story to be published in National Lampoon's magazine. The first was Vacation 58, which was the basis for the original National Lampoon's Vacation. This explains the label on the home movie reel Clark finds in the attic, Xmas 59. I did notice that. That's funny.
Yeah. Yep.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation not nominated for any notable awards, which is a damn crime.
None at all. What do you think you should have been nominated for? Best?
No, I'm joking.
Comedy? Best acting? What?
Best rants?
Best rants.
Physical comedy.
Best physical comedy. Yeah.
I can't say that because I think Scrooge took physical comedy.
I don't.
Well, I mean, they didn't come out in the same year though, so
1 year apart.
But, yeah.
Yep. So this movie has 4 Saturday Night Live alums: Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Brian Doyle Murray. Brian Doyle Murray is Bill Murray's, I think, cousin. Did you know Bill Murray has 9 siblings?
Wow, I did
That's
not.
A lot.
Yeah. A bunch of them are actors themselves. Let me look up the actual brothers here. It's a lot of them. So Brian Doyle Murray, John Murray, Ed Murray, I think Andy Murray, one of them. Yeah, bunch of brothers.
Tennis player.
Yep. So bunch of brothers. Let me see here.
Band of brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're on a roll tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
We talked about which movies to watch for this movie Cage Match. I suggested It's a Wonderful Life. There is a connection to this It's a Wonderful Life. Frank Capra III was assistant director on Christmas Vacation. His grandfather and namesake, Hollywood legend Frank Capra, directed It's a Wonderful Life, arguably the most watched Christmas movie ever made. Have you guys seen that one, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I don't think Carrie has.
No.
That movie was also playing in this movie.
It was, yes, exactly. An angel will get its wings. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Yep. Savvy vacation fans will notice Clark and cousin Eddie drinking eggnog out of Wally World mugs. Wally World was being the impetus for the title excursion in the original National Lampoon's Vacation. You notice that when they had the mugs with the ears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
It was the antlers.
Oh.
Antlers.
They're a reindeer.
Yep,
I didn't know what that was.
Yep. Christmas Vacation is one of 3 films released in 1989 to feature a trendy animated title sequence, a signature of late 80s, early 90s comedies. The other 2 being Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Troop Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Yep. I've never seen Troop
I
Beverly
enjoyed
Hills.
I enjoyed that title sequence that they had.
That was interesting. I think
I remember watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids too. I like that one as well. I don't remember Troop Beverly Hills though. I think I have watched it, but I can't remember it.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you think of Christmas Vacation in general? Was it funny? Still funny to you?
Yeah, it's always funny. The vacations usually always get me. I like Vegas Vacation's my favorite one. Christmas Vacation's my second. It's just I don't know. It's the character of Chevy Chase in this movie is just I don't know. He's very relatable in a way.
Christmas lights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For Christmas, the Christmas holiday, particularly, like you string up Christmas lights, man. Like I can understand the struggle. When you're like, all right, everything's ready, and you want to plug it in, and it doesn't fucking turn on. You're like, ah. When he comes out of this garage, when he's all pissed off in the hockey mask and the chainsaw.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, that's relatable, man.
Was Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her husband the Kristen Wiig award winners of this movie? What did they do in this movie?
Yes, nothing.
Yeah.
I would say that she was the antagonist of it, but at the same time, I don't think the movie needed it.
Right, exactly. It's like, what is their point?
Like
of
the
them?
true villain, I suppose, but
yeah.
I mean, he had a lot of situations that came up, like they were his own.
The boss was the villain. They didn't need to.
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I didn't need
True.
the neighbors.
Yeah.
I thought it actually took away from it anytime they were in a scene. I was like,
yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was showing collateral damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Suppose you're right.
Well, you're right. I think, you're right. You could have taken her out. I would have noticed the difference.
Yeah, they were the neighbors like in Dennis the Menace of just like, this is Dennis the Menace is always the kid fucking up Mr. Wilson's house. So they were the Mr. Wilson of this movie.
Well, no, Mr. Wilson was needed in Dennis the Menace. Who was he terrorizing otherwise?
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah. Did you think about the Nest while watching this movie? Did Clark Griswold come across to you as the Jude Law character of Clark Griswold just being this delusional, like, everything's fine, I'm the greatest husband ever, I'm gonna chop down this tree? She's like, isn't the tree a little big? No, it'll be fine. She's like, isn't there too many lights? No, it'll be fine. Did that come across to you at all?
I think he's just a scatterbrain.
Yeah.
He wanted something, magnificent, and maybe he miscalculated the dimensions.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I took it as endearing as a guy trying very hard to make the perfect Christmas. Nothing like Jude Law. I say that I didn't imagine The Nest once at all watching this.
Okay.
Clearly superior movie.
I didn't write it down, but what do we think for Chevy Chase's career best stuff? Is this the best? When you think of Chevy Chase, do you think of these movies? Do you think of anything else?
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, that's it.
It's the vacation movies for sure.
Yeah. I remember really liking Funny Farm. You ever see Funny Farm?
No.
Funny Farm. I can't remember it.
Let's see.
I don't think I have, actually.
Yeah. It has Chevy Chase and some woman named Madeline Osborne. Chevy Chase is about a couple swaps city life for the country, but their picturesque new hometown turns out to be a little different than they were expecting. Let me pull up the Wikipedia. Let's see. Andy Farmer it's his actual name, is a New York City sports writer who moves with his wife to the seemingly charming town of Redbud so he can write a novel. They do not get along with the residents, and other quirks arise, such as being given exorbitant funeral bills for a long dead man buried on their land years before they acquired the house. Marital troubles soon arise from the quirkiness of Redbud, as well as the fact that Elizabeth was Rosebud, yep. critical of Andy's manuscript while having her own manuscripts for children's books published. So I thought that was interesting. There was a part I remember in this, like, there's two scenes I remember in movies about people living in the country. There was this scene in Funny Farm where he has to break a record for eating the most. I forget what they called it, but it was basically donkey balls or something like that. And he has to eat like 30 of them. And by the time he gets to 30, they tell him it's like donkey balls. I forget what it was. But anyways, the second one was, you ever seen The Great Outdoors?
No.
With John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. I think John Candy has to eat a 4-pound steak or some shit, like a 50-ounce steak. I forget what it was, but he had to eat all of it. And then he gets to the end. He's got like grizzle left and grizzle and fat. And the cook comes down. He's like, says, "You're not finished." And Dan Aykroyd's like, "There's nothing on that plate but fat and grizzle." And he's like, yeah.
Exactly.
Fucking eat it. Yeah. Anyways, let me see. So Chevy Chase movies. Let me see what else. He's not been in a whole lot that I remember. Nothing But Trouble is always referenced in last podcast on the left. I don't think I remember seeing it. Fletch. He was in a bunch of movies called Fletch. Yeah. Man of the House with JTT. Yep. Yeah.
Isn't it? Is that the one where he like cuts the brakes?
I think so. Yeah.
Of his dad's car or stepdad's car. Like, isn't that endearing?
Yep.
That little scamp.
Yep.
Cut his dad's brakes.
I'm checking it out right now. See if an image brings it back for me.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. A lot of that funny stuff where it's like, oh, he just fell through the roof and now there's asbestos everywhere. That's funny. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah. Going back to Bill Murray for the Apex Mountain, I got some here that I forgot about. Lost in Translation, I really liked a lot. That's probably my favorite, actually. If I was going to think about either, the comedy aspect of Bill Murray or the dramatic aspect of Bill Murray, I'd say Lost in Translation for the dramatic stuff. And all the Wes Anderson movies in. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is very good. You should watch at least a couple of these before you watch French Dispatch with Timmy C in it.
If it ever comes out.
Yeah. Wes Anderson has a very specific directing style. It's very interesting. You should check one out before you watch French Dispatch. So, what do we think about the best of these two? Best movie out of these two?
I think the best movie is Christmas Vacation.
Gary, what do you say?
I really wanted to like Scrooged more because I know Chevy Chase is known for being such a dick.
Yeah.
In real life, but I liked Christmas Vacation more.
Interesting. Okay, that's fine. I'll be the odd man out. I really liked Scrooge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was a blowout.
Yeah.
I could have gone Scrooged. I think it's just the jokes, the dialogue landed a lot better in Christmas Vacation than they did in Scrooge.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a lot of rambling and rants, and a lot of times I couldn't pick up on what he was saying. Maybe there was a little bit of the point, but I do like how much they did with Scrooge.
Yeah. I like Scrooge a lot.
Why did you like Scrooge over the other ones?
Huh?
Why did you like Scrooge over Christmas Vacation?
I like Harry said, I think just like Bill Murray as a person better. I like the career he's built after this.
Chevy's a dick.
I don't know. The Christmas Vacation never did, or the vacation movies never really did it for me. Chevy Chase as a person, as an actor, never really did it for me. I just think the jokes are kind of lame. I think the Randy Quaid is just like this. I know people like that. I have an uncle like that. It's just like, just a gross person that I don't want to really be around. Don't find him funny or endearing.
Okay.
Just a lot of, like you said, just things that are like, oh, that's funny that he's causing property damage at an extensive level. Not great. So I'm trying to pull up here, trying to buy time so I can pull up all of our cage match over this year. So this is our 16th cage match of the year. It's Scrooged. Is Christmas Vacation. The winner. So we have probably in a couple weeks. Do you want to do the winner? So I was thinking about this. We can do the winner of. Take the winners and put them in their own category. Take the losers and put them in there like a loser bracket. So we can do a bracket like that, or we can just do them all randomly.
No, do the winners. I don't waste time on the losers, I suppose.
Never want to waste time on the losers.
He's saying do a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't think the losers bracket is particularly necessary.
Okay, so
put
just
in the losers bracket for a reason. Am I right?
Right. Am I right, buddy? Got him. Yeah, just do like, we got Booksmart, we got Man from U.N.C.L.E., Bohemian Rhapsody, The Martian, Imitation Game, Knives Out, Spirited Away, Lincoln, Pride and Prejudice, Nightcrawler, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, that was unanimous, as is No Country for Old Men, League of Their Own, Fellowship of the Ring, Arrival, and Christmas Vacation, all in a round robin tournament. What do you call them? A bracket tournament to figure out the winner, the best of the cage match this year. How does that sound?
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Work out the finer details. Sounds good though.
Yeah, we're gonna work on the details. Yep, exactly. So congratulations to all the winners this year. Congratulations to Christmas Vacation for taking it. So that'll be the last one of the year.
Awards will be in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. So I was
we are
thinking
the most prestigious podcast in analyzing cage matches. So your championship belts are on their way.
Yes, this will be the last one of this year. I want to do a large extra size show in 2 weeks for the best of 2020. In 2 weeks, we'll be doing the best of everything, best of movies, best of TV shows, best of whatever you guys have watched. So that'll be coming out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So come back for that. Can't wait for that. So for the last cage match of 2020, I have been Damien.
I've been Siskel and Deedsburg.
And Carrie.
And we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.
2 thumbs up.